to create a Flappy Bird game in Unity 3D. So as you can see here, I have all the sprites put in. I even have a material for it. So let's go ahead and get started in the scene view by making a background, and then also after that we'll make the ground itself, and then we'll make the bird. So we're going to change the rotation of the x-axis to 90 on this background plane, and then we're going to scale it up. We're going to assign the background texture to it, and then we need to rotate it to where it's straight up. I think about right there works. Alright, so we're going to move this up, and I'm going to move it over, and I'll move it a little more up. Alright, create another plane. You may be thinking, why are we creating all these planes? Well, there is a reason for it. Again, 90 degrees. This time assign the ground texture to it. There we go. And it doesn't look like everything. There we go. So set that to 90, 90, and negative 90. Negative 90, there we go. 90, and that works right there. Okay, so I'm going to move this a little forward, just where we can see it a little better. I'm going to move it down, and then I'm going to scale it outwards. Let's go back into my 2D view. Scale it down, and then scale it outwards to the right. Okay, move that up, and that is our ground, and this is our sky. Scale that up a little bit. Okay, so that's our basic scene. Now we need to create a collider. So create a cube, scale it, and move it down to about where the ground is. Remove the mesh render and the box collider. Add a box collider 2D and set the position of this to -1. Okay, so let's go ahead and name all this stuff. Let's create a empty called scenery. And then we'll name this cube right here the ground collider. And then the two planes are going to be background and then ground. After that, you're going to pull all the three objects into scenery, and that's finished. Okay, next let's go ahead and add the Flappy Bird. Alright, so add the plane. Position, rotation, sorry, I've been saying position, it's actually rotation. The x-axis of the rotation is -90. Assign the Flappy texture to it. And of course this needs to be unlit transparent. Actually, instead of doing that, let's go ahead and just take Flappy and pull them in here. That's going to work a little bit better, so -90, actually. That works. We'll just set that to 0 and set the Y to 90. Let's try 180. And of course we need to move it forward to where we can see it in the camera view. Wherever Flappy is. Okay, so now we can rotate him. There we go. Alright, so that is fixed right there. Flappy is working. Now, of course, if he doesn't actually work, so we need to add a box collider 2D. Actually, yeah, and set that to trigger. Then also add another 2D collider. This time it'll be let's see, where is it? Polygon collider. After that, you're going to add a rigid body 2D. And now we are done with that. Let's just go ahead and create the script on the bird. Alright, create a script called bird. Open that up. And this script is pretty short and simple. All we're going to do is basically set the velocity of him, so when he jumps, and then also make him rotate down, so like when Flappy Bird falls, he falls on his beak. So that's what we're going to do. So let's go ahead and create two functions, an update function, and then another function, a fixed update. There we go. Okay, we need no variables. And let's just go ahead and put in the fixed update function. So we're going to say if get component. So if we have a rigid body 2D, and so rigid body 2D dot velocity, so and the velocity is of course the y-axis, so the velocity is greater than 0. There we go. Then we're going to do something. In here we're just going to say transform dot rotation equals, let's see, quadrant dot e-roller. Not the greatest at pronouncing all these words there. Okay, so we're going to set all this stuff in here to 0, and then put a semicolon at the end. Next, you're just going to say else, there we go, float angle equals, math f dot lerp 0, -90, comma, and let's just put something here, minus get component, rigid body 2D, and then we're going to put velocity, that's not 2D, rigid body 2D, dot velocity, dot y, and then we're going to divide it into 3s. Alright, and semicolon at the end of that. And last little part here is transform dot rotation equals quadrant dot e over 0, comma angle. Okay, so that is the fixed update. Now if we go into Unity and play this, so if we play it, there we go. As you can see, we're going down, and we just fall. Alright, let's go ahead and add the update. We're just going to say if input dot any key. Any key is really cool, by the way. It gets any key, even the mouse. So if any input, then basically get the component of rigid body velocity, rigid body 2D dot velocity equals new vector 3, and then we're just going to put 0, 5, 0, and that would be moving us up by 5 on the y-axis. Okay, when we play this, now if we hit any key whatsoever, we'll go up. Now nothing happens right now because we, 1, don't have the pipes, and 2, we're not moving, and we're not actually going to be moving. We're going to basically simulate us moving. Sorry about that. Okay, so basically we're going to move our scenery here, but we're not going to move ourselves. It's actually kind of interesting how it works, and it looks really cool too. Alright, so next we're just going to go ahead and spawn in our pipes. So we need to set the position up on the z-axis to -1, and then add a script called pipe spawning. We'll get to that script in a minute. First, we need to create the pipe itself. Okay, so in the sprites, you have a pipes sprite. You're going to go ahead and click it, change the sprite mode to multiple, and then click sprite editor. Click apply. And as you can see, I have two pipes there. I'm going to delete that, and I'm just going to click and drag. You're not going to have 2 pipes. That's because the reason I have it is because I did it before. Basically, click and drag where your pipes are, and then just apply this, if you can apply. Okay, so once you have hit apply, this guy will have 2 children, pipes 0 and pipes 1. Basically, drag both of them in the scene and position them so where it's about as big as the bird, a little bit bigger. There we go. Not as big as the bird, I guess the thickness is as big as the bird. Okay, set the z-axis to -1 once again. And then move it over to where we can see it, and that's probably good right there. Same with pipes 1, except this time just copy the position of pipe 0, and paste it to pipes 1, and then just move it down. Let's find pipes 1 and move it down. Okay, that is what now it looks like. So it looks pretty cool. But this time what we're going to do is instead of like taking each of these pipes and spawning them at different positions, we're just going to put them under an empty pipe and then put it into a prefab instead of having like this object loop through. We're just going to instantiate it and then delete it. Okay, also add a script on both of the pipes, and we're just going to name this pipe because that's our script. And then we're going to put this into a prefabs folder. Okay. There we go. Now that you have done that, what you're going to want to do is name your empty that we just created with the pipe spawning script on it. We're going to name that spawner. And then you're going to open the script up. Alright, so what is this script like? It's pretty simple. All we have to do is open it up. There we go. We're just going to need a game object of pipe. And then we're going to need one function and one enumerator. So I'm going to say void start. And we're basically going to call the enumerator here. And we also have to create a couple of integers here. We need to create a spawn rate max, a spawn rate minimum. So min, minimum. Okay. Minimum, same thing. Okay, and then you're going to need to create another integer spawn height. We'll just say minimum height. Minimum height. And then maximum height. Okay, that is now finished. So, what you're going to need to do is call a coroutine in the start function, and this coroutine will be named spawn. Once you've done that, create the actual coroutine here, the enumerator. Make sure it's an enumerator, by the way. And we're just going to say spawn, enumerator spawn. Okay, and then we're just going to say you'll return new wait for seconds random dot range between. So we're going to take a random range between spawn rate minimum and spawn rate maximum. Here we go. Okay. So now all we have to do is instantiate the object. So instantiate pipe this.transform.position, comma, random. Actually, instead of putting that there, we're just going to say public game object lowercase pipe. Sorry. Okay. And instead of putting that this.transform.position, we need to say new vector 3. This.transform.position .x, comma, random.range between. Alright, so basically the first part's the x-axis, the second part is the height. So we're basically going to pick a random height, which is going to be the minimum height. So we're going to pick a random number, a random height between the minimum height and the maximum height. That's what we're doing. And then we're going to put another comma, this.transform.rotation. Actually, sorry about that, not rotation. We just have to say this.transform.position dot z, so z for the z axis, sorry. Okay, then we need to say this.transform.rotation. Alright. That is now finished. All we need to do is start the coroutine spawn one more time. Awesome. Go in here, and we should be able to spawn. We just have to set the prefab here. And then the maximum height we'll just put at 3. Minimum height stays at 0. The spawn rate, minimum. And we'll just put 3, and the maximum is 4. Okay. That's finished, and let's go ahead and save the scene here. So Flappy Bird. Let's go ahead and get on to the pipe script. Okay, so now to get to this pipe script. Sorry about that. Been messing up on the words lately. Okay. So just humming on my words in the video. Sorry about that. Okay, so Now when we go over to the pipe script, sorry, I have a second monitor here that I'm looking at because I have my notes on it to create this script. So we're going to say public float speed. So basically the speed that we're going to move towards the player, because this is our pipe. We're going to create an update function, and we're just going to say this.transform.translate 0. Actually, we're just going to say negative speed, comma 0, comma 0. So I guess that works for now. Okay. Next, we're just going to create a start function. Again, starting a quarantine. And this one's going to be called destroy. And this function right here, this enumerator, is going to basically destroy the pipe after 10 seconds. So you'll return new, wait for seconds, 10, and then after that just say destroy, just like game object. Alright, that is finished. Then let's go ahead and test this out in Unity. Actually, of course, it's not going to work because our prefab here needs a speed. We'll just say 2. Alright, and nothing's moving currently, but ooh, that was fast. We'll just say 0.2. That works. That was too fast right there, that pipe. Alright, let's see if we can pass at least one pipe. Whoa, too big. It's way too big of a pipe, too. Scale it. Well, actually, I guess that was fine. Let me maximize this just so I can see what's going on here. Definitely a little bit big for my liking there. Let's just scale it down again. Okay. Still a little bit big. Let's scale it up one more time. Sorry, scale it down one more time. Actually, that'll work. And we'll also change the speed just because I want it to be a little bit slower, so 0.1, and then we're going to move Flappy back a little bit, just to where we can see what's coming. Also looks as if it's a bit low. Here we go. And they're all at that height because we've not set a minimum or maximum height. Well, we have, but maximum height, let's just change this to 10, and then the minimum height to 5. And we'll see what that's like. Way too high, that's alright. Let's just change this for the last time to be about 6 and 4. Alright. Once this starts working, the heights anyway, once I get that working, I will go ahead and show you guys how to move the background so it looks like it simulates the moving sky, and well, it simulates that we're moving. As you can see, we're still pretty high there. So I'll get back to you guys when I get the perfect height. Okay, so I have the perfect height now, and I'm going to also change the speed to 0.05 because that speed was a good bit fast. And the spawner heights are 1, the minimum height is 1, and the maximum height is 3. That is the perfect height that I've found. So there's some low ones and there's some high ones. Let's go ahead and play this to see what's going on. There we go, much better. Our Flappy bird looks a little bit big, but that's alright for now. We'll fix that later. Okay. That looks pretty good there. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the scrolling of the background to where it simulates us moving. Okay, so go ahead and create a script on the background and the ground. And this one's going to be scroller. We're just going to call it scroller. It works fine, so let's go and add that. And we're also going to need to duplicate the background in the ground twice. Go, let's move the ground a little bit. We will have to test around with this one a little bit more than the last one. Let's duplicate that one. There we go, and that should work. Let's go ahead and create an empty called background. And then we'll just move ground, background, all the different backgrounds into this one empty. Alright. Now that you've done that, go ahead and open up Scroller, and I will show you guys this script. Okay, this one again is a pretty short one. So say public float, scroll speed, then public float, tile size. After that, you're going to say private vector 3. Sorry about that. Okay, so private vector 3 start position. Next, we're just going to say void start. And we're just going to put start position equals transform.position, or this dot transform position dot position, whichever one you want to do. And then you're just going to say void update float new position equals mathf dot repeat. And then we're gonna, inside of that, we're just going to say time dot time times scroll speed. And then we're just going to say comma tile size. Alright. Next step, you're just going to say transform dot position equals start position plus vector 3 dot right times new speed. New position, sorry, not speed, new position. Alright, now that that's done, you can go ahead and test out this the scrolling here, and you will have to test it out to see what the perfect integer is, float is for the movement here. Okay, so with the scroll speed that I have found best is 2 and 4. There we go, and it looks pretty cool. So let's go ahead and play this and look what it looks like. So it kind of looks like we're moving backwards now. You could change the scroll speed to -2. If you did that, it would look a little bit better. There we go. As you can see, it's kind of like looping back, but it looks pretty good when it does loop back. You can change make it look a little bit better than what it does look like. Another thing that I'm going to do before ending this tutorial out, the first part of this tutorial, I'll do the rest of it in the second part, is I'm going to basically scale down Flappy. There we go. And we're also going to add sounds to the next tutorial. And make the scrolling just a little bit better for the sky there, because it looks a little bit weird. But let's just test this out for a little while to see if we can see anything that's going wrong. Of course, you can go through the pipes. So to fix that, all you have to do is give a box collider 2D to the pipes. And now, if you played it, and you bumped into one of the pipes, so go ahead and bump into one. So just fly up a little bit. You can see we're kind of stuck. Let's see if I can get ahead. I don't think I can. So yeah, that is the first part of how to create a Flappy Bird game. So the second part, we're going to be fixing the background movement just a little bit. We just got the ground one done. We're going to be optimizing the sky here. After that, we're going to be making Flappy die. So we're going to make him die, and then we're also going to be adding a score for when you go through the pipes. So yeah, hope you guys like this tutorial, and I will see you in the next one.